What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Black men are on strike. Um, I think people are having a hard time with this concept. I was talking to my lady about this maybe a week ago, and the idea of what manhood, masculinity is, not just in general, but in particular the black community. There's this book, I forgot the lady's name, called Men on Strike. And this was about the white community. And it was a culture shock to hear what she was talking about for some people. And I think it's just as much of a culture shock for people to understand that black men are on strike. Not all black men, but the demographic of men that you probably need to build a society. And what I mean by that is the brothers in the middle class, the educated guys, the hardworking guys, right? The guys who maybe entrepreneurs and business owners, right? What they have to do for themselves and their family is one thing, but they don't have to do that for the community, okay? And people don't realize there's a generation of black men who watch the black community throw the black men who were doing the heavy lifting under the bus. And these guys have decided that they're on strike. I'm not doing it. Not for you, not for your ungrateful behind, not for, I'm not about to help you raise your kids. You don't help me raise mine. Why? I'm on strike. No. What am I getting out of that? Nothing. I'm not going to sit here and be a fallback plan after you make decisions in life that put your life in a bad spot. Now all of a sudden, you know what? All I got to do is hitch my wagon to this black man and I can smooth all these bad decisions on out. No, these black men are on strike. No, you cannot do that. There's nothing in it for me in that. This is what, even with America, people don't take into consideration that even with this pandemic, it was hard to police during this pandemic. It really was. Cops had a lot of free time on their hands because most people are in the house. But the guys who are not the black men who are not in the underworld or underlife and they're just doing their thing and handling their business in life, they're not making themselves available to be around, to be caught up in these situations. So these brothers are on strike. So now you got to work real hard to lock a person up for nothing. Because you see all of these guys, weekly getting out of jail for whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years for fraudulent charges. So when it comes to this idea of interacting with the law in America, you see black men on strike. The other thing about it is when you get to media, social media, if that's what people have a thing with, they have all these shows where men and heterosexual black men aren't involved. So to have all of these opinions that you're putting on men and heterosexual men, and these men are not even on these panels, it starts to, you want to have a conversation, but you don't want to have a conversation with the men. You want to have a conversation about the men when the men aren't there, saying that you want to have a conversation with the men, which plays into the stereotype that you just want to create a boogeyman, a villain, and a villain narrative. So these guys are on strike. You can do whatever you want, have whatever narrative you want. I don't care anymore. And the problem has become that people don't know how to get these brothers back to the table and talk, because what you really want these guys to do is basically come back to the black community and continue to do what they were doing before you stabbed them in the back. And that's not going to happen. And we're dealing with adults here, so you can't just play stupid and, I don't understand what happened. It's not going to work. Or but this time it's going to be different. Not going to be able to work. Because what happened is black men have accepted being American, and what I mean by that is individualism. I can be an individual, and I can be self-serving. Self-preservation is the law of the land. So now I'm going to be an individual like everybody else is an individual. And what's kind of funny about it is, when we pull back, now it's not just us and our presence that's pulling back, it's the money that's pulling back. See, we stopped participating in giving everybody money. We stopped participating in going to these business establishments that don't respect us. So now they have to consolidate. You know, now they have too many options. So now we can just, you know, boycott America with our dollars. And with more and more of these black companies popping up online, you're going to see more and more of this strike. Well, you know, as a black person, I'm going to support black people, but I'm going to support black businesses, okay? But even as far as the family dynamic, you see a lot of black men on strike because guess what's happening? You know, guys have paid out enough in dating, marriage, divorce, child support, helping, to the point where they realize, you know what? You don't do this for black boys or black men. The black community does not support black boys and black men the way that the black community wants black men and black boys to support it. So these guys are like, I'm on strike. And you can't do nothing about it because there's nothing that you can bring to the table that has any positive bearing on us coming back to the table. Because you spent so much time getting over on us that you never invested in us, and now it's like, okay, it is what it is. So now, since we're separate groups, you know, black people are a group, but black women are their own individual group. Black gays are their own individual group. Now black men have become our own individual group. And now you got a problem. Because what's about to happen and what's really going that direction is black men are taking our American experience with us. You black women can't use it. You black gays can't use it. So now we're going to separate what it is in America. And the same thing that goes for other races of people. No. You know, we're here because of... No. You're here because of the stuff that I and my ancestors have done. And you can't use my struggle. Get your own, you know, Martin Luther King. Get your own Malcolm X. Get your own Medgar Evers. Get your own Fred Hampton. Get your own Huey Newton. Get your own Stokely Carmichael. Get your own. You know, even if you want to fast forward and use Colin Kaepernick, get your own Colin Kaepernick. You know, get your own Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and George Floyd to have a rallying cry behind. Get your own. You know, because you're not about to get governmental help and assistance on the fact that we're going through something, but now you want to hit your wagon. Let's see what your struggle is for real. See, what I mean is, since cancel culture is what it is, black men are on strike and we're about to cancel everybody else. We've in pretty much in a sense, like, nah, let's see what you are. That's what the whole your nuts thing was about, partially. So what are y'all going to do? These guys are on strike. Can you get them back? No. You know. Now let's see how deep your struggle goes. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.